On the edge of space, before time began, there was only the hubverse. Sprocketeers avenged clarity, they dismantled obscurity, they danced when the flywheel spun. Here, we bring you the stories and the journeys to becoming the HubSpot Superadmin.
In this episode, Jan has a conversation with his future self. He tells us how he got acquired by HubSpot and admits that he never wanted to be a marketer. Welcome to the Becoming a HubSpot Superadmin podcast, powered by Sprocketeer, where we're championing the HubSpot Superadmin. With us today, we have Jan Bogaert. He's a product marketer at HubSpot for Sales Hub. Hey, Jan.
Hey, Grant. How you doing?
I'm good. Happy Friday. And I'm excited to have you on and chat with you.
I'm excited to be here. I'm a big fan of your community, and I think it's a huge honor to just be on here and share my story, I guess.
Sharing your story. It's all about you. We want to hear about you, Jan. And for those of you listening, Sprocketeers, Spinny, Jan was doing, and he's probably going to talk about this, so I'm getting ahead of myself here, but you were the first time that I was ever on a HubSpot kind of call. And it was an honor for me to talk with people who are actually doing the work. So thanks for that.
Was that one of our community events?
Yeah.
Because I remember unmuting you, I think, and you were talking to Franz from the DataSync team. You're right. I remember that. Yeah, that was fun.
It is like a point in my career.
Like a big milestone. Like everything's changed once I got unmuted on a webinar. No, but it's. I'm very happy to be here, and indeed, currently I'm a product marketer here at HubSpot. Used to be in customer support. I mean, there's a whole story there that I'm happy to kind of dig into.
Yeah.
But I'm currently. I used to just because we were touching on that subject, I used to run the HubSpot, the operations community inside a HubSpot community. So I set up tons of events that just kind of connected, on the one hand, our product team with our community, and shared ideas, shared what they were working on, and exchanged insights and all of that. But yeah, since a couple of months, I'm working for as an actual product marketer for the Sales Hub product. So I'm doing everything from interviewing our customers to writing product notifications, creating messaging for Sales Hub, and also a bit of on the mobile app as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go. I'm going to start back with the first one, and then we'll go back through. So you'll probably say that again, if that's okay.
Yeah, I thought I was going on a tangent, and I was ahead of myself, but it's good. Yeah, we'll do that again.
All right, so Jan, let's dive in with your favorite HubSpot tool and why.
Sure, my favorite HubSpot tool. I'm currently working for Sales Hub, and I love all the product team and the developers working on Sales Hub, but my favorite tool must be DataSync. It's very, very near to my heart. DataSync, just DataSync in general, it's technology that came from a company called PieSync, acquired back in 2019. And I worked at PieSync back then. I was part of the acquisition that HubSpot made. So, I saw the whole transition from working at this startup here in Belgium, tiny startup, 25 people or something, to then being acquired, and then seeing the actual sync framework, that amazing technology that we built here, brought into the HubSpot code base and blossom into this beautiful integration platform called DataSync.
That's cool that you have that background with it, right? It's your favorite, but you also help build it, deploy it, and then help it grow.
Yeah, I was part at PieSync. I was part of a 3-man support team, and we did everything from writing knowledge base articles to actually handling support tickets, doing chat, email, but I mean, we create videos for it. We talked directly to our product team and like funneled feedback from our customers straight towards them to see if they could make any improvements and all of that. So we were like very close to everything, and we saw it like it was just compared to like a bigger company like HubSpot. Now you were very close to everyone, and everyone was like rooting for. Like we had this TV screen, and we saw each and every new subscription come in, and like we saw our revenue grow, and it was every day like, wow, yeah, we got a big new customer, we got a whale. We call them whales. I don't know why. I was yeah, and yeah, it was a fun environment.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I mean,
okay, so yeah, let's go then. So the favorite tool, and that is by and large because of where you were at, and you came in from that company, but now you're at HubSpot. What are you doing now at HubSpot? What's your current role like?
My current role. So I'm currently still getting a bit settled as a Sales Hub product marketer, but I mean, what we do here basically is kind of be like, we're kind of in between sales, our sales team, our product team, and then also our customers on the other hand. So we are really trying to understand like the persona, the customer, our users, trying to understand what they need to get out of Sales Hub, like what sort of ideal values they get from it. Then we of course talk to our product team, see what they are building, try to inform that possibly, but also if they're building new stuff, try to make sure that it's packaged, positioned in the best way for our users to understand what the unique attributes, like the actual value prop is for them.
Gotcha.
And then for our sales team, we're making sure that positioning is very clear to them. We create campaigns, messaging, and kind of supporting materials to make sure that they feel super comfortable selling Sales Hub and are great at it. That's
Love
kind of the clip
that.
notes.
Supporting sales roles and are great at it.
Yeah, it's
package that up and just offer that. I think that would be enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things. Like I'm still getting kind of settled as a product marketer. There's a lot to learn, but it's been a very like I've listened to many like sales calls, and it's great to kind of see where our customers are coming from. But also, what I'm also think is super exciting is that the Sales Hub product has grown so much. And we were just talking about this on previous, before we actually recorded this, but like the mobile app as well has grown so tremendously, and is not anymore like what it used to be like a year or maybe 2 years ago. So there's a lot of opportunity for us there to make sure that value is made much more clear to our customers and our sales team.
Right. Agreed. Yeah. It must be a catch-22 as a marketer. Well, it not must be, but I think it might be that HubSpot continues to come up with these updates and updates and updates. And so there's updates to be updated on, but then also all the things that you've been doing might have shifted a little because the persona might be using it differently, like the mobile app.
It's true. Like we can create a great, for instance, like a pitch deck or something today, and it can be completely obsolete next year. But I mean, that's also, I think, the great thing about working at HubSpot is the product is completely, constantly changing. Like it's growing, and I mean, like even still, there's so many opportunities for us to capture. Like when we're looking at the mid-market or like the enterprise segment, there's so much room and potential for us still. And I mean, there's a ton of people on the product team just creating those features right now, and it's just a matter of time before it's ready. So that's, I mean, working at a company that's so forward-thinking is always great.
All right, so you've given us kind of the today and given us an idea of where you're at. Go back to the first time you started using HubSpot or working at HubSpot. What kind of sparked the journey that led you to where you're at today with HubSpot?
It's a long. Well, I actually got kind of forced into it because of the acquisition. It's not like I chose to work at HubSpot at any given point, but I'm very happy to be here now. So that's at least something. No, like if we go back, like I'm currently very happily a product marketer at HubSpot, but if I think back to like 5 years ago, I don't. I mean, if I would have told myself 5 years ago that I would become a marketer at HubSpot, I would have hated myself for it. I mean, I totally did not want to become a marketer, and I don't think like I just had some like faulty preconceived notions of what it meant to do marketing. Probably from like in school, where the only thing that we were taught about marketing was like this intro to marketing course, and it was this guy like, hey, make sure your brand is simple and powerful, but never really got to the essence and like the meat and the potatoes of what it actually means to be the good marketing. Yeah. So I was always like, no, I'll do something else. I want to be more like working with data and have like create actual impact, because I didn't really see back then that marketing could actually add a lot of value to customers and to companies as well.
So then, okay, so PieSync was really the thing. Can you walk us through kind of a high level, some steps of starting PieSync, the evolution you went through, and then the transition?
Yeah, sure. So when I started at PieSync, I started in customer support, as I've already said. And
that's when you started there. That was your first.
Yeah. Well, no, I worked when I studied languages and linguistics here in the University of Ghent, and studying that, I didn't really know a lot about the business. You learn about languages, you learn grammar, literature, all of that. But once I graduated, I had zero sense of what it actually meant to work at a company. And I knew I wanted to be in the private sector. So I did an extra degree at this local business school in general management. And they gave us some really good courses. And it was very inspiring environment as well. And it really helped me understand what it means what kind of factors are at play when you're working at a company, like corporate finance, accounting, HR management, business strategy, marketing as well, all those kinds of things. But coming from languages and linguistics, I didn't really see myself working at these big companies like Deloitte or anything. So I was recruited by this local supermarket chain here in Belgium to become one of their store managers. And I was like, hey, wow, they want me. Sure, they've given me a contract. I'll sign it. I mean, give me money now. I'm very happy to do it. But that was not a great fit. Actually so bad that I actually got fired from it. I think that was a really pivotal moment for me to kind of just reset, see what is something that I really want to do, what is something that I love doing, that I'm good at. And what is also a kind of a company that I want to kind of work at, because it's not just all about just getting on the first company that hires you. It's also finding a company that fits with your own
right. Agreed.
Culture, I guess. And that's where PieSync came in. And I started in customer support with the idea of, okay, this is a great step of getting to know the product, getting to know the customer. And as it's a startup, they will be growing. So I might grow into another function over time.
Right.
But after a year, we got acquired by HubSpot. And that was in the beginning very scary, because here you are at this Belgian tiny startup. In comes this big American player. You're about, am I going to get fired? what's going to happen here?
Sure. What's my job going to do? Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, HubSpot has this extensive customer support team. So what will I be doing? But credit where credit's due. Both HubSpot, but also the founders of PieSync really did a great job of making sure that the entire team would get incorporated into HubSpot and would get more good opportunities there. So that was really great. Like from the get-go when it was announced, like HubSpot execs flew over, had fireside chats with our founders, and it was like they really made it clear, like, we are not going to fire anyone. Even more, you're going to get a big raise.
Wow.
We'll give you ample room to grow your careers and all of that. So it just wasn't just about the technology and the developers or like the software engineers. It was just about, yeah.
What an amazing experience to have gone through.
I'm very lucky. Like, I mean, like this could have gone sideways in so many ways. It's like when you hear about those nasty acquisitions, that went through on my mind, but I'm happy that it went the other way.
Congrats. You've been doing a great job, and I'm saying it, you whether you will ever say it, the experiences that you've created, I've met many people who've benefited greatly from your involvement. So I'm glad leadership really kept you guys around and stuck it out and elevated you, because it's been super beneficial and added lots of value.
I'm really happy that you say that, because sometimes, and you've probably had the very, like, you have probably had similar experiences, but sometimes you're just like sitting behind your screen and it's very difficult to get feedback from the community sometimes and know if you're doing the right thing. So sometimes I didn't even, like, I saw all these people show up, but I didn't know, like, is this actually helping them move their careers forward? Is this actually giving them like more like, is this making them better at doing their HubSpot work in HubSpot?
Right.
That was not always super clear to me. So I'm happy that you say that.
Yeah. And the visibility you created along the way was huge, was big. It's, there's the knowledge base and there's the marketing content. And that's really what you have if you're not connected with other people. The visibility you created was really the value. It allowed us to get into the details and hear back of, oh yeah, that's interesting. We haven't come across that yet. Like, oh, okay, it's not me. Those sorts of things are helpful to know where the line is.
Yeah.
Where's that line?
Exactly. And definitely with a tool like Operations Hub and data sync, custom code actions.
Yeah.
They were so like it was very hard to get a grasp on what they could actually do. So from the get-go, it was one of my like ambitions to get people on board, share use cases, share examples of what the extensive like possibilities of them were. And now we basically create like an entire community around just sharing code actions with each other. That's nice to see.
Love it.
Yeah.
I feel like you just shared basically some milestones as we went through kind of where everything began with PieSync. So let's just move into some people. Can you call out some people, Jan, that along the way, I know you mentioned kind of categorically the leadership, but who specifically were some people? And if you have a story, we'd love to hear about why this is someone you would want to call out.
Yeah, a couple of people like come to mind. I'd say, like starting as a marketer here at HubSpot after doing customer support for a very long time. I have to call out like Maggie Butler, who helped me. Like just one of the things that you have to know about like managers at HubSpot, like they really want you to get the very best out of yourself. Like one of their, I'd say like 50% of their responsibility is just making sure that you grow professionally. And that is something that I think is so rare across just every company, like the industry in general. It's awesome. Like you aren't like, when I think about that previous company, that supermarket chain that I was working on, like they've basically had a mold of what a store manager was. If you didn't fit it, mean, you were thrown out.
Yeah.
And here it's much more like, okay, like just they want to understand what you're trying to do, what your ambitions are, what you're trying to grow towards. And then it's like, okay, this is our goal, like what we try to do as a team. And they try to mix and match. So one of the things that they wanted to do back then is, of course, we wanted to make Operations Hub very visible. We had the RevOps persona. That was kind of our goal, to kind of establish that, to make sure that HubSpot 100% supports the RevOps like methodology, all of that. And we knew that, I mean, to reach operations professionals, we need to create a community. But then it was like, okay, that was my task. Like we want to create a community, and then it was up to me to kind of fill in the blanks of how we're going to do it. Because could have gone like many different ways in building that community. But like I always like wanted to do get better at webinars and like get actual talent and content creators on board and work with them and share interesting videos and all of that. So that was just my way of like achieving those goals, if that makes sense.
So you're aligning the business goals with the personal goals.
Yeah.
And thus you're both getting the best of both worlds. I love that.
And that's, I mean,
Maggie.
Maggie's has been a tremendous help, and I mean, so smart as well. Like she immediately like understood where I wanted to go personally and professionally, and just supported me every step of the way. Yeah, I have to definitely shout out to her, but also like my current manager, Ari Plout, longtime product marketer at HubSpot. Like both him and Maggie, I think, have been on board for 10 years. But
okay.
Yeah, so they're like OG HubSpotters. Right. But they like definitely Ari, like he's coming up to 10 years. He's always leading with empathy, like always trying to understand where you're coming from. Me being based in Belgium, way across the pond, always having like that kind of global mindset of knowing that culturally things are a bit different here, trying to adapt, understand my point of view. Yeah, and just making me feel welcome and heard at all times. Shout out to those two. They are amazing. If you ever get a chance of working with them, you'll understand what I mean.
Understood. Thanks, Ari and Maggie, to both of you for supporting this man and everything that he's been doing for us.
Preach.
Appreciate him.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah.
Well, the best for last. All right, Jan, here's the fun one. Those of you listening, Jan, I'm going to embarrass him a little bit. He was very much anticipating this question.
No, this is I don't know what question you're talking about. This will be all new. What question?
This. It's an interesting one, and Anyway, the question is about the future, which we don't know, we can't tell. Sometimes the best predictor of the future is the past. However, things can very much change as we've experienced. So if we're looking at Jan 2032 and he's standing in front of you and he's talking to you, what is he saying and what is he doing and what is he thanking you for? Thanking Jan 2022 for doing? What is he telling you to forget? Wherever your mind goes, we'd love to hear about it.
It's such a loaded question. First of all, I hope at one point in my lifetime we get to experience time travel in one way or another. I love that. And I mean, I've been thinking about this question a lot. And when I get a question like this, I tend to like go very deep into it and like think like, what if, like, what will my conversation with my future self actually look like? And like,
yeah.
What will we talk? Like, just specifically, it can't be anything else than just like words of caution, right? Like, don't do this. Like, don't build a business creating fluffy toilet seats or something that doesn't make any sense to put your money in. That's a bad business call. Don't do it.
Don't use those anymore. Don't do that.
I mean, what I just kind of hope is I'm big on like work-life balance and all of that. I hope that my future self just says like, hey, just keep it up, keep growing professionally, but like also personally, just keep trying to become a better human. Push yourself to be more empathetic, be a better husband, father, brother, whatever it is, and try to be more vulnerable, I guess. Not trying to get too deep here, but it's, yeah. What, like posing, bouncing the question back. You've asked this question to all of your like subjects who've come on board here. Like, is there anything that you think your future self would say to yourself?
You're the first to bounce it back, Jan. Well done. Well played, sir.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to catch you off guard, but I think it's an interesting one to have. But
my 32 self, I often think about where I will live to 80 or 90, and then put that into a date, and then reference that to the current date, and try to think about what will fulfill me having done when I'm at that stage. So what am I doing today to then make that happen? And in 10 years from now, yeah, my three big buckets are running, startups, and robotics. So if I can't say that, then I'll be disappointed. I want to continue to lean into the things that I am doing when I have free time. Keep doing those. My partner Jen and I better have at least made it to 5 countries together in the next 10 years. At least 5, because I would expect 10 plus. So if we haven't hit 5, I'll be disappointed. And then beyond that, probably taking care of my parents. You know, the next 10 years is going to be that 70 plus time frame. So getting as much time out of that with them.
Yeah.
Other than that, you can have everything else. Other than that, doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's when I read this question, when you sent it to me via email, it's like work and that kind of, when you're thinking of like 10 year, 20 years, those kind of milestones, like work is to me not very important. Like I just want to be fulfilled in, but hopefully in 10 years, my marriage with my current girlfriend, and just have like having spent enough time with my friends, with my family, and just, feeling like I've grown as a person throughout that time. Yeah.
That's a nice bow. Feeling like I've grown as a person.
I think so too.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. It's a very deep note to end on.
Thanks for being on, Jan. If those of you listening, where can those listening find you if they want to reach out?
I'm on LinkedIn. That's probably like the only social media that I have. So yeah, I think it's just /Jan-Bogaert with AERT at the end. So just look me up, or I'll probably be active. I follow Kyle. I follow Kyle Jepson. Sorry, I follow Max Cohen. I follow Grant here. So if you see me commenting anywhere, just hit me up.
Say hey.
Absolutely.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. Jan, thank you for being on and sharing your story with us.
Thanks for having me on board. I think, again, this was a huge honor, and I'm happy to kind of share my story. I haven't really done this before. So it was kind of nice to be open and vulnerable. Yeah.
Thanks for being open to doing it. It's good.
Right.
All right.
I appreciate you.
Take care.
Bye.